So this screen has now been completely sanded down. This particular client has chosen low burn visible, so that's what I'm going to go with. You'll notice when I put it onto the floor, it's going to darken up quite a lot. Trust the process, it will return back to what you're seeing here at the moment. First thing we do is get ourselves a nice clean roller, pop it into the bucket, and what you want to see is a load of air bubbles. That's the roller now filling up and loading up with the correct amounts of lacquer needed in order to put down onto your floor. Make sure all of those air bubbles have stopped. Once they have, your rollers done, and then we can start. What we're going to start to do with first is the edges. We're going to work in small sections, something that we can easily manage ourselves. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start over in this section. Doesn't really matter too much as long as you follow the process quite nicely. Work in small sections along the edges. We can then start the roller in. We're going to cross against the grain first to make sure that we've completely loaded the floor as much as physically possible. Then we're going to even out the lacquer from that point onwards. Let's get going. Now we've got the edges done, we've got a nice comfortable amount that we can work in quite happily. We'll bring the bucket to roughly where we're going to stop, and we're simply just going to cross the balls. We started with the most trickiest area, being this cupboard. And what we want to do with all of this remaining lacquer, spread it out until it doesn't spread no more. So we're starting to run a bit dry now, so we can start feathering it in. With this particular product, you want it to be nice and wet. When you get towards the end, just lift up ever so slightly, just to ensure you don't get any of those nasty roller marks. Again, we're fully loaded. Go as far as the lacquer will take you comfortably. You do not want to be putting any pressure onto the roller. If you've got to put pressure onto the roller, you need more lacquer. So we're starting to run out now, as you can see, we're running a bit dry. I could push down and get some more lacquer onto that, but we don't want that. We want a proper coating that needs the correct amount of micrograms. Again, lifting out towards the end. Then we get to the infamous tricky part. Again, this is why we work in a smaller section. We can lean over and just feather out our lacquer. As I say, I'm right-handed, so I would prefer to start back up here. pictures of it. Right, so that's the first coat of the Loader Invisible gone down. It's a 2-coat system, so we only need to put 2 coats down. But before we can put the second coat down, we're going to need to buff this floor back and make it really nice and smooth. You won't be able to obviously feel it through the camera, but when you put water-based lacquer onto the floor, it raises the grain up into the wood fibres. So we're just going to knock them back, get it nice and smooth, so you can essentially power slide over your brand new floor.